I've cured the beef with native Australian herbs, and then I've done a saltbush salt and samphire.
Tracy, you struggled this morning. Have you got your mojo back?
I'm hoping that I can redeem myself with this.
How do you want the beef cooked?
Medium rare.
You've definitely redeemed yourself this morning. It works, it really works.
Thank you.
Only thing, it's quite salty. Did you put some of the saltbush in there?
Yes.
In there as well. And is this
Saltbush
this
salt.
is saltbush, the dried saltbush leaves.
These guys have a very high salt tolerance. It is then way too salty. It's definitely a disappointment not being at my best in front of Heston.
Next up, Brent.
I've used a family memory, and I'm actually really excited to let Heston taste it. My only concern is that raw pumpkin, and I just hope that it's nice.
So it's a lamb fillet, roast carrot, raw pumpkin, and a mustard cream, native greens.
Oh, it's like all the ingredients seem to do this. It's a very delicate dish, but it also feels like it's wrapped in a warm blanket.
The lamb is nice and moist, the pumpkin's yum.
The texture's perfect.
It's perfect. It's wonderful.
That's a great dish.
Thank you.
Just reiterating the 3 criteria. Creativity, it's there. Local, native produce, it's there. The third thing, you think, OK, how does this bring family together? It's warm, it's comforting, you feel like you still had this sort of family roast. And finally, has it inspired me? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done, Brent. Thank you.
To have a cook like that for Heston it's perfect. I mean, I impressed Heston. This is the best cook I've had in the whole competition, and what a day to do it.
Jamie.
I have one of the best sauces I've ever made in my life, and I've forgotten it.
Jamie, there's something missing on that plate. It's something to do with oysters.
Yeah, oysters and bacon.
What happened?
I put the last piece of sea parsley on. As you said, time's up, and then I realised it wasn't on the plate.
I know you don't want to hear this, but that's the bit I was looking forward to trying.
Do you want to go and get them? Can't judge them.
No, that's fine.
But might as well have a look. Crazy, isn't it?
It's painful.
There it is.
We can't taste it.
Yeah, no, we can't.
That's so painful.
Tell us what the dish is.
Snapper with some Australian native succulents, caramelised beetroot with some lemon aspen and a finger lime dressing. And then there's a pepperberry lemon myrtle salt.
All right.
That's a nice little dish. You've got a little burst of acidity of lemon myrtle.
Cook the fish really well. Love those little peas, the succulents, which give it salt. But there's just something that needs to tie it all together. A delicate little oyster vinaigrette.
Yeah, it's a crying shame. It's just
Now-
nice textural contrast as well.
good. You know, because you've got a bit of crunch, you've got a bit of salty crunch. So there's some lovely elements on there. And, you know, even if you drizzled that with an oil, you'd have a great dish.
To hear that the element that you made that didn't make the plate is what could make it better is heartbreaking. That's the thing the dish needed.
Next up is Emilia. Tell us about the dish.
Quail with raw squid and a chicken consomme.
How does that look?
Quail's good.
Yeah.
It's a very delicate dish, and the consomme's clear, there's no doubt about it. It's got good flavour, but it's not got great flavour.
The consomme itself is well-rounded. You've kind of created a good base with which to build on. It's still a nice dish.
Is that the calamari?
Yeah. It's delicious. Like sashimi. Does the squid need to be cooked, or can it be served raw? I'm happy with it that way. Some people may not be.
Thank you.
Ben.
Walking up to have my dish tasted, I'm a bit worried because I think the flavours are really intense and it's not the dish I had planned. I'm worried that it's just going to be way out of balance and I'll be in the bottom. So I'm not confident at all.
The dish is salt and pepper snapper with a mustard emulsion and charred cucumber.
We've got red wine, we've got Vegemite, we've got some very crispy saltbush there, and then you've got that delicate little fillet of snapper in the middle. Is it going to get drowned by the flavours, Ben?
I'm interested to hear what you think about it because there are some really big flavours there and they're not flavours that normally go with white fish.
This cucumber, the texture of this is beautiful. I just need more reduction of red wine and Vegemite.
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely love it. You get a little bit of texture from the saltbush, and that red wine and Vegemite sauce, it's the kind of the loud guy in the corner. That's delicious.
Thank you. Thanks, man.
Gosh, you sorted out the fish right at the end. Super delicious, I love it. And you'd be super happy in a restaurant and you'd be sitting there going, wow, it's interesting, because it's got interesting flavours and textures.
Boy, that's a surprise. Thank you.
It means my crazy idea kind of makes sense. So I now know that I'm not on the bottom. I'm actually nearer the top. And it's a huge relief to me. But I think it goes to show if you're trying things and trying to make things interesting, you get reward for it.
We've got tough decisions to work out. Who gets the advantage tomorrow and who does take that long walk up those stairs. We'll be back in a minute.
Wow, what a day it's been. An invention test where you had to use Australian produce, capture family, and of course, creativity. We're looking for one winner who will get an advantage going into tomorrow's challenge. But on the flip side of that, we're looking for who's going to go through to the elimination at the end of the week.
Well, that was an absolutely fascinating cook. There were two dishes that really stood out. If I call your name, please step forward. First up, Brent.
I think this is the best dish I've put up in the competition. And to have a cook like that for Heston, that's perfect. It fell into place perfectly.
We loved your dish because you managed to capture the honesty of a home-cooked lamb dinner, but making it look super modern. So well done. Great cooking.
Thanks.
The other person joining Brent in the top two is someone who I think did 3 times more work than anyone else, and that's Ben.
Top 2 again. I'm doing all right at the moment. I'm quite happy about it. It's just great. I want to be in the top, not on the bottom. It means I'm cooking tomorrow.
I think what we loved about your dish was the gutsiness of it. We know you had all those problems, but what you brought us, it was beautiful in terms of texture. We love this idea of bringing Vegemite along with those native herbs. Well done.
Thanks.
But only one of you can win, and that winner Brent.
I'm almost speechless. I mean, I'm super proud of myself. I've exceeded my own expectation, and to impress Heston is something that I never thought I would ever do.
I loved your dish on so many levels. I thought there's a lot of ingredients on there that might have clashed and fought each other. Actually, it was the opposite. The 3 criteria, you didn't just meet them, you smashed them.
Thank you.
That'd be Heston Blumenthal praising you to the stars. How do you feel?
It's a great feeling. If there's anyone in the world that I look up to in food and would want to impress, it's Heston. And now that I've done it, I feel like I've finally achieved something I never would have dreamt. I've won something. I've won and I've impressed Heston.
When we discussed your dishes today, not only were there 2 people at the top, but we felt there were also 2 people at the bottom. If you're on the bottom of the pile today, then you face elimination.
I'm pretty certain it's going to be me going through to elimination.
If I call your name, please step forward. Amy.
I'm devastated that I'm in the bottom 2. Oh, I'm kicking myself right now, and I'm really, really worried.
The idea of stuffing that quail was fantastic, but it was a little dry. It was a little unfinished. We needed something to spring those ingredients off the plate. Shame. Tracy. I think you knew that it wasn't as good as you hoped when you put that in front of us. It was very salty. And to be honest, it was a little ordinary. The kind of thing that we'd expect to see in week 1 and we'd love it. But this far in, missed the mark.
Hearing Gary say that this is something they would expect at the beginning of the competition, my heart sinks. That's not the level I should be cooking at.
The least impressive dish we tasted today belonged to Tracy. Tracy, I'm sorry, that means for you, you're going to face elimination at the end of the week.
I've come off the high of the power open and immunity straight down to the bottom, and this elimination is going to be huge for me. Like, I feel like I've just got Mount Everest in front of me, basically, to climb.
Trace, don't get down. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but you're still in the MasterChef kitchen, and do you know what? At the end of it, there's an elimination. You're not going to be the only one in there. To the rest of you, it's been a big day. You wake up and HB's sitting at your dining room table. Weird. Awesome. You've cooked some great food. So we applaud your determination, and it doesn't end here. Tomorrow is going to be massive. Off you go. Brent?
Yes, George?
You'll be coming in earlier tomorrow. Get your advantage off Heston.
In my onesie. Happy days. I've finished on the highest I've ever been, and yeah, it's Happy Heston Day.